Welcome home, residents of Dangerville. It's your Mayor Alistair back once again with some epic Godzilla content. Right off the bat, I'm actually really sick right now, so if I sound weird, that's why. As you know, Toho celebrated Godzilla's 69th anniversary by releasing the new Godzilla film, -1, which is being hailed by many as a masterpiece. But not only that, they revealed a brand new Godzilla short film, an animated reimagining of Godzilla vs. Megalon to celebrate that film's 50th anniversary, as well as more Monarch news for the upcoming Apple TV Plus show. But perhaps the most exciting was the reveal of Operation Jet Jaguar. Kazuhiro Nakagawa has returned to direct a new live-action short film which uses the classic tokusatsu style of filmmaking, where a man in a suit portrays the monsters we see flattening Tokyo. And it is incredible. Godzilla fights the classic robot Jet Jaguar, and there's even a surprise monster I was not expecting. So let's get to breaking down the fight and giving our thoughts at the end. So this is Fest Godzilla 4, Operation Jet Jaguar. The film carries on from where last year's Godzilla vs. Gigan ends. After he defeated the alien, he moved on to destroy the city. The text here says, as Godzilla destroyed Hedorah and Gigan, it seemed as if a moment of peace had come to Japan. However, Godzilla, having lost its enemies to defeat, started to destroy various parts of Japan. The damage became extensive, and then we cut to people running from Godzilla as he stomps through the streets of the city, and the suit, which is the 2004 stunt suit, still looks great. The way this film is shot is incredible. You can see these shots are from a human perspective as we look up at the monster, and the way they've actually composited Godzilla into actual shots of the city make him feel more real than ever. It feels like we're running with the civilians, but then all of the civilians stop and look at what Godzilla's doing. And then Godzilla blasts his atomic breath, blowing up one of the buildings. And through the smoke, we see him standing menacingly.
He's just standing there, menacingly!
A character says damages caused by Godzilla continue to expand, as we get this amazing shot of a bird's eye view of Godzilla looking upon his destruction, with a path of fire in his wake. And then a character says the Japanese government began to develop the anti-G machine. And this shot's actually a reference to Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. Then the character says finally they completed the giant soldier with an AI brain. And then we get a look at him, the beautiful Jet Jaguar. He looks great here. He looks shiny, metallic, but still looks like his classic 70s self. And then we get the title card, Fest Godzilla 4, Operation Jet Jaguar. And then we get this great shot of Jet Jaguar rising to the surface to approach Godzilla. And what's funny is you'll notice is that these aren't people, these are what seems to be like little figures. This is exactly how they would have done it in the 70s, and I'm really happy to see it here. Even if it's not realistic, it's still so charming. And then we see Godzilla stomping through the streets of the city, explosions bursting from the ground after every footstep. But then Godzilla stops, perhaps noticing something's wrong. And then he looks into the sky to see Jet Jaguar approaching the battlefield. He observes as this strange metallic monster descends from the sky, and then he readies himself for a fight. Godzilla, taken back a little, has to reassess the situation. He takes a breath and then fires his atomic breath. But Jet Jaguar is too fast and dodges out of the way of the incoming attacks. He jumps from the buildings, does front flips, and rolls onto the ground, narrowly missing the superheated atomic breath. And then Jet Jaguar leaps at Godzilla and kicks him in the ribs, which is now too close for him to use his atomic breath. But Godzilla, with his greater weight, grabs onto Jet Jaguar and pushes him forwards. But Jet Jaguar, with his advanced speed, brushes Godzilla's hands off him and begins to punch and kick at the king of the monsters. But Godzilla gets the opportunity to kick Jet Jaguar hundreds of meters away. Jet Jaguar looks up, perhaps contemplating his next move. Because it's an AI brain, he's learning as the fight goes on. He once again sprints at Godzilla, but leaps into the air and punches him in the neck. but Godzilla, with his greater strength, manages to push Jet Jaguar away, but then he swings around in an attempt to use his tail to smack Jet Jaguar, but he narrowly dodges it. Jet Jaguar quickly recovers, but then performs a roundhouse kick to the face, which is just hilarious. Wha-bam! Godzilla's disorientated, and Jet Jaguar safely makes it to the ground. And I just love how the fire is reflecting off his suit. It makes it really feel metallic, although this has only pissed off Godzilla more as he musters the strength to get up, and he roars in anger. Jet Jaguar makes a face as if he's saying, "Bring it on," and he leaps towards Godzilla, and they begin to have at it once again. Godzilla tries to use his atomic breath, but misses, and Jet Jaguar returns with some punches and some kicks. Godzilla tries to headshot Jet Jaguar from close range, but he just about misses. And then whilst Jet Jaguar is down, Godzilla once again tries to swing his tail around, but this time Jet Jaguar grabs it, and then he swings Godzilla around straight into a building. And then Jet Jaguar tries to punch at Godzilla's throat again, but the King of the Monsters dodges out of the way, and his fists go straight through the office window. Now, I don't know about you, but this looks like a reference to that scene from Pacific Rim when Gypsy Danger's fists go straight through the office building. Fun fact, that scene was also done using practical effects, so this is actually done in a very similar way, using miniatures, which just goes to show how impressive miniatures can be. Jet Jaguar pulls his fists out of the building and then just kind of stands there like, huh? How did I miss that? Where's he gone? But Godzilla flanks him and begins to charge his atomic breath, and then he fires at him. He uses his super speed to try and outrun him, with a superheated energy following his every step. But Godzilla's atomic breath manages to catch up with him, and it knocks the robot over. Jet Jaguar, clearly weakened by the use of the atomic breath, tries to get up, but Godzilla kicks him while he's down. Now Godzilla's got the upper hand. Jet Jaguar, clearly weakened, is approached by the King of the Monsters, and then Godzilla pulls at his head to try and rip it off, lifting Jet Jaguar off the ground. But then he uses his strength to throw the robot into another building. And what I like here is you can see so much emotion in what is just a robot suit. The actor that performed as Jet Jaguar did an excellent job portraying his emotion. Acting when you've got a mask on is incredibly difficult because no one can see your face, but they've done an excellent job here. The little flame on his chest is a nice touch as well. Jet Jaguar looks up at probably the most scary sight you can imagine, which is Godzilla charging his atomic breath, pointing right at you. Perhaps thinking, what could I have done differently to stop this from happening? But he seems to accept his demise, as terrified as he is. But then, seemingly out of nowhere, a gravity beam strikes Godzilla, and then out of an explosion, Ghidorah materializes. As golden as ever, the devil with three heads has returned to conquer the planet. He crashes down into the city and roars as if to challenge any monster that stands before him. And this shot is just beautiful. This is actually a reference to the 1964 film Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, which is a great callback. And then Ghidorah begins attacking the city, using his gravity beams to explode the surrounding area. Jet Jaguar knows that he cannot face Ghidorah alone, so he contemplates doing the unthinkable. Godzilla, shocked and injured following Ghidorah's arrival, lies almost defeated. And one thing you'll notice is he still has the scar from when he fought against Gigan in the previous film, which is just a really nice continuity. Jet Jaguar gets up and reaches out and takes Godzilla's hand and lifts him back up. And this is that's a round of applause moment for me. I love this. Godzilla's kind of just like, what are you doing, bro? Get off my hand. The two finally team up like they did in the Showa era to take down this new threat. They look at each other and form that bond to officially team up. And then Jet Jaguar gives Godzilla a big old thumbs up, which I just love. That's once again a reference to Godzilla vs. Megalon. And then they both turn around and face this new three-headed devil. And then Ghidorah roars at his new challengers. The camera zooms in on Godzilla as he roars, ready to take down this new alien threat. And then the bombshell to be continued. So looks like we're going to have to wait till next year to see the conclusion to this short film. Toho has really upped their game this time around. The special effects are excellent, the Final Wars stunt suit has really held its own after nearly 20 years of use, and the new Jet Jaguar suit by Shinichi Wakasa is excellent, faithfully recreating the classic. The addition of the legendary Ghidorah took everyone by surprise, and was brilliantly brought to life using the suit from All Monsters Out Attack. But instead of being a force for good like he was in that film, he's returned as a force of evil. The cast here also did an excellent job, with Matsumoto playing both Godzilla and Ghidorah, and most notably Kenya Saito as Jet Jaguar, who was just filled with personality. I felt like you could really tell what he was thinking. The mannerisms go a long way in portraying emotion, even when you can't see any expressions in their face. And as someone that grew up with Halo and saw Master Chief as my hero, physicality goes a long way in expressing emotions, and can really get across what a character is feeling. And here you can really feel how scared Jet Jaguar is at this moment, despite just being a robot. And I think he deserves a round of applause for those stunts. Stunt work is something that goes underappreciated in the film industry, so I just want to point out how good that was in this film. And as for the directing, Kazuhiro gets better every year. And mark my words, he will get a feature film of his own someday. Just like how Takashi started out making Godzilla shorts, I would not be surprised if, in the future, Kazuhiro gets a full-length film of his own, which I'd be all for. Toho has been experimenting with trying to evolve Godzilla for the last decade. Literally, with most of their projects being very dark and gritty, but I'd like to see them make a more traditional versus film again, in the same vein as these live-action shorts. The film, of course, ends in a cliffhanger, which will likely see Godzilla and Jet Jaguar teaming up to take down the Devil with 3 heads. Although next year it will be Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla's 50th anniversary, so there may be a chance the mechanized giants will show up to face off against Godzilla by Ghidorah's side, which I just cannot wait to see. What did you think of Godzilla Fest 4 Operation Jet Jaguar? Do you want more Goji films like this? Let us know in the comment section down below. There's tons of new Godzilla updates coming out, so subscribe and stomp the notification button to become a resident of Dangerville today. And be sure to give this video a big Kong-sized thumbs up. I've been Alistair, and we'll see you residents in the next one.